Crypto Sniper back at you. Yes, so short clip on Ethereum. Before I start, pop over to the link up top and like our Facebook page. We will have various little leaks of post HVF method trades occasionally, and also the odd offer. So like Facebook group, The Market Sniper. Wearing the Crypto Sniper hat, however, today we're looking at Ethereum. And the Ethereum call, the headline that will go out with this is 136s for Ethereum. Yes, it's above $200. We're calling for 136. That's essentially $65 on something that's 200. It's another 33 and a third percentage market cap shave. We've done okay with Ethereum. Our last call, the alt market on Ethereum was target 169s this vid, and it was about a month ago in the fancy stripy jacket. At that point Ethereum was around 290s and just starting its down leg, so it was over here. We get down and then down, and that was the final low at 169 that it did make, and then rallied all the way back up to 255. So from that 290 first sell-off and then second stage sell-off, the 169 was indeed the place for getting back out, and you had quite a reasonable rally during that period. What is it doing now? Well, utilizing HVF method, we are coming to the conclusion that Ethereum will be one of the week. Attend our webinar on the 31st of October. Find out the one that I think is going to lose 2/3 of its value. But Ethereum itself, weak grinding wedge at the moment, and it has already triggered a downside setup. That downside setup is 136.84. You've got to take this all in context of what's likely to come next with BTC. For Ethereum to make a new low, I think BTC is going to have to be very flat and soft and back down. Check the main clip on BTC. As suggested, we feel there's a bit of a rising wedge structure that could be coming its way as well. Much like the Ethereum, only taking a little longer to happen. So you'll probably get something along the lines of this, with little spike pumps, much like we had last night. So since that, and then grind downs, squeezing higher, and then reaching a point where it gets smacked down back, potentially down to just these levels, but possibly also for the big trigger on the macro pattern. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about BTC. I've covered that, but BTC needs to be soft or selling off broadly, I think. Otherwise, if Bitcoin is strong, well, certainly it needs to be sideways or soft, or selling off. If it's strong, it's unlikely you're going to get pain in the alt caps. So back to Ethereum. We could pop out the top of this, by the way. It doesn't mean we treat wedges, rising wedges, as well as non-directional. It just means there's an impulsive move. But I would always broadly bias to the downside, especially when coming into it you've had an impulsive sell. But we could first pop out the top and then dip down. It could return all the way up to its initial triggering event and even go in. It's all possible. The priority guess, though, is maybe a small move up, but the next impulsive move is down. It didn't quite run its second interim on the way down here. So I would have preferred to have seen it just run it now that it's doing its rally, but that's okay. Maybe it'll do it in the stab down. So what we might get is just a stab down for second interim. So that would correlate to Bitcoin just being spanked back down to these levels. Or trading back down. It doesn't have to be spanked. Trading back down, and you would see Ethereum run its interim level here. So it could churn a while longer here before eventually running the 136. What you can see is, though, you can short it from 201 plus, and potentially even put limit orders in terms of how I might be trading this with regards to getting it all the way down. You could possibly optimize that stop. I wouldn't want to see that level on the grind line break. So that's the value of a grind line. You can reduce risk a little bit potentially. And you could say, okay, maybe I'll just take a little bit of extra risk and just put stops on the other side of that. But that is not a full HVF stop, and you can run right up to here and then turn. But shorts for Ethereum for 136.66 on Bitcoin not doing particularly much. If Bitcoin goes for the full-blown sell-off, which I think we're going to have a pause and a lull for a while now, it's going to tease you for a while, going grinding up and maybe a sell-off and grinding back up and another sell-off. I don't think that's happening imminently, but if it just on one of those sell-offs, we could certainly make the second interim and even the full target on Ethereum if it was just a bit twitchy in the markets generally for Ethereum. If Bitcoin triggers for trading with a 3 number in it, in other words, runs the 4,000 level, then we'll certainly have a bigger sell-off in my anticipation here, because that would probably be a 40 to 45% loss in value on Bitcoin, around maybe, if it's not so extreme, 35%, but the higher beta of these other coins will see them lose, especially a major alt like this. I would still say 50% from where we are now. So if Bitcoin was to go from 6.2 to 3.9 and lose 30%, I'd battle to see Ethereum at least not dipping through $100 on the downside and becoming a 2-digit number on the big move. So I think this target can actually be achieved without Bitcoin having to do anything exceptional, apart from grinding up and some steep smackdowns. And I think that's going to continue to bleed out the alts to a higher degree than it would Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does the whole roll, this could get even worse. So target 136.66 for Ethereum. Sell above the current price point potentially will be something I may do on pending orders. This is not advice. I'm not regulated. This is just talking about my trading and how I might roll it, and how in the community we might roll it as well. Okay, there you have it. Target 136.66. But if the big one comes, I would leave overperformance open and I'd only do a partial close, and I'd look for a 50%, in fact, a dip below the $100. That's your crypto sniper trade. Next webinar, 31st October. Come on at 1930 BST time. And also go pre-reg, final seats on the links, and like our Facebook page. See you all soon. Enjoy that. Play safe, play small, not advice. Be chilled and enjoy your weekend. Bye for now.